Someone says, get your new year out. 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 Why is it always an Audi that is right behind you? I'm doing the speed limit, honey. I can't go any faster down these country roads. So you might as well hang back a little bit because you're in for a long ride, sunshine. Hello guys, how you all doing? Hope you're having a lovely day. Hope your day is better than mine with this Audi right behind me. If he crashes into me, I'm not paying for it, let me tell you that much. I'm so sad. I've actually made sure I've parked with a really lovely background, but you can't even see it. Here's a little clip of the view you couldn't see. Isn't it lovely? It does stink a bit though, I'm not gonna lie. Anyway guys, I asked you over on Instagram for some questions revolving around the new year. So, let's answer them. I'm excited about this. Let's have a little chin wag. What's your opinion on New Year's resolutions? I think they're really great to set, but I think you've got to make them achievable, because if you don't achieve your New Year's resolutions, I for one feel defeated and deflated. So I think go ahead, make your New Year's resolutions, but make them doable. Another person asked if I had New Year's resolutions for this year and whether I achieved them or not. And the answer to that is yes, I had a lot of New Year's resolutions. I actually have an app called Happy Goals, and basically you just like put your goals in there and then you can track them to see how well you're doing. One of mine, for example, was to have a certain amount saved in my bank account by this time. You can track it like as you're saving your money, and I found that really motivated me to save more as well. I also had visit 3 new countries this year. The new countries I went to were Egypt, Poland, oh, and I went to Benidorm, which is in Spain. I have been to Spain before, but when I was very, very young, so it's pretty much 3 new countries for me. Another of the goals I had this year was to film 10 collabs, because I love filming collabs, but they're one of those things where like if you can put it off you will, because it can be a little bit awkward messaging someone like, hey, do you want to film a video? So I managed 6 out of 10 this year, so 60% complete that one. And my last one was a materialistic one: buy a designer bag, because I've decided that the way to track my financial success is if I can afford to buy a bag every year, I'm doing all right. I bought this little bag actually from Louis Vuitton back in April, and I use it literally every single day. I love her. Someone says, what's your best memory of 2019? I actually think, do you know what it is? I went to Portsmouth for a week with my real life best friends. The girls that I got close with in sixth form, one of them went to uni in Portsmouth, and we just spent a week together there. It was like a little mini holiday for all of us. And on one of the nights we just got some disposable barbecues. We went down to Portsmouth Common, sat on the grass, had a barbecue and had a good old natter. And I think that's genuinely one of my best memories of this entire year. I've done quite a lot this year. I've been really lucky to experience a lot of cool things, but I'm a home girl at heart. I love my friends. Although a close contender is when I went to Egypt this year. Me and my family did quad biking through the desert. That was so much fun. I really, really enjoyed that. I'm a bit of an adrenaline junkie sometimes. Oh, I like this question. If there's anything you could go back and tell yourself at the start of this year, what would it be? It would be hang in there, because a situation that you don't feel the best about is going to 100% turn itself around. It's a situation that I just haven't wanted to be in for quite a while, and towards the end of the year it completely changed, and now that situation is so much better. So I just say hang in there, stop worrying, and make the changes you need to make. Emily says, what did you learn about yourself from 2019? I learned a lot of things actually. I need to be selfish, and it's fine to like have a couple of weeks off if you need to have a couple of weeks off. I'm not talking of like off work, but I'm talking like off of socializing. If you need to take some time out for yourself, that's fine. And I've learned that I'm actually all right at doing that now. I actually feel okay to say no to plans or to cancel plans, whereas before I would never do that. I've also learned I'm a bit more daring than I thought I was in many aspects of life, some of which has been a really positive thing, some of which have not been my best decisions, but you live and you learn. So many of you guys said, do you have any New Year's resolutions? So my New Year's resolutions for this year, I actually wrote them a couple of nights ago. Oh, I wasn't actually going to share these. Now that I'm reading them, I'm like, do I want to say that? Oh, I'm just going to say it, I don't care. So this year I would really like to get a non-surgical nose job. It feels weird to say it out loud because I've never spoken about it on my channel, but I've never been a fan of my nose. So I've recently discovered a doctor who I'd really like to do it. So I'm in the process at the minute of arranging that. That's probably one of my biggest New Year's resolutions, is to be completely happy, or at least a bit more happy with my appearance. And if I need to make changes, then I need to make changes. Just got to get over it. We're not all naturally beautiful. and that's fine. I've also got on here 7 collabs because 10 last year was a little bit too much. I managed 6, so if I can do 1 more than last year, I'll be happy with that. If any YouTubers watching this want a collab, hit me up. I've also got another amounts to save in my bank account because I'm now in the process of saving up to buy a house. For quite a long time I've been debating between renting in London or buying a house in Essex, and I think I'm going to go for the buying the house, although it's very difficult. 1, because it's expensive, and 2, I'm not doing it with anyone. Obviously it's just me buying the house, which makes it twice as expensive as most people really, because it's kind of the norm, I guess, to like move out and rent and then buy a place with your partner. At least that's what I assume the norm to be, because that's what everyone I know does. But I don't really want to rent because it's very expensive to rent in London. I'm talking like over £1,000 a month at least. Even in Essex, it's expensive to rent, and I'd rather be saving that money for a deposit on a house. So I thought, you know what, I'm not going to wait for anyone. I'm just going to try and do it myself. So who knows when that will happen, but I'm still saving towards that this year. Someone else says, what plans do you have for YouTube next year? I'd like to do another job like the James Blunt interview that I did. That was so much fun. I found that I really liked interviewing. I enjoyed that. I also loved the Ollie Murs job that I did at Jonathan Ross. Something like that. I love the realm of like TV, celebrity interviewing. So I guess that's kind of like a plan for next year, to do a little bit more of that. It is kind of a scary thought though, I'm not gonna lie. This isn't a question, but the last time I watched your videos was when you were studying for your test. Jess, are you telling me you haven't had the light that is Fabhan in your life since I passed my driving test years ago? Where have you been, Jess? Oh, someone's actually asked about this bag. I think it's called the Crosset. Obviously they are expensive, but mine still looks brand new. Like, they last so well. And I think if you buy the right designer bag, this is off on a tangent, but you know, anyone who's interested in designer bags would find this interesting. As long as you treat your bags well, I think they can be an investment, and you can sell them for at least the price you bought them for. If you leave them longer, you can sell it as like a vintage Louis. But I think the thing is to not buy a bag that's just trendy at the time. Like, I hadn't really seen anyone with this bag. I just liked it, and it was a classic. Louis Vuitton had sold it for quite a while, I think. I personally wouldn't buy probably like a Balenciaga bag that says Balenciaga on it, because that's a trend bag and that's not going to be trendy in a few years time, and then if you come to sell it, no one's going to want it. So try and stick to the classics if you like a classic one, and then look after the bag, and then I think it can be a good investment. Oh, Cameron says, what was your favourite year of the decade? To be fair, 2019 has been probably one of my best years, but also one of my worst. It's been a weird one, 2019. But I think probably when I was like in 6th form and I didn't really have many cares and I saw my friends every day. So when was that, like 2017, 2016? Do you believe in the whole new year, new you kind of thing? I don't see why people wouldn't. Like, obviously you're the same person, but I think if there's any time to like try and change your life or like achieve something you've been putting off, when is there a better time to do that than the new year? I don't think it's ever a bad thing. No one ever wants to change for the worse, so I don't see why people can be against that, really. Okay, and the last question, I feel like this is a good one to end on. If you could write a letter to the end of 2020, Han, what would you ask her? I would ask her, which brand are you most proud of working with this year? Who have you interviewed, if you've interviewed anyone? Are your friends still doing okay? And if you feel like the answer is no, then why haven't you checked up on them? Are you any closer to buying a house? And have you got a puppy yet? So guys, I think that brings us to the end of this video. Thank you so much for all your questions you sent in. I hope you had a lovely, lovely new year, and good luck for 2020. We're all in this together. But anyway, thanks for watching. Do subscribe to see what 2020 holds for Fabhan. Maybe I'll do this video again at the end of next year to see how it compares. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you're having a lovely start to the decade, and I'll see you again soon with another little video. Bye guys, love ya. Right, I'm gonna go and have a look for some plants now. Let's go and see if this was worth my time.